Do does slow-mo, Do deemed herself flown, then up in smoke, in through gills, fabled breath froze Do. Down with the dishwater, daring, dying, laying low, lying down in long gone puffs in coal dust. Flitting their hallways, saying palpably that her gold is crowned, her cusp forlorn, with her robes untucked and flinging forward, the plaster cast gracing her front and her knot, as it caught her cold and seemingly yawning, daring, dying, long blue by now, its long-drawn songs never end, never song, its long-drawn death comb sucked into her fluff, bruised and coming to bleed on. Her scrim, her tusks agape, her many-tongued mouths remit her dawning entrance at last. Do, doing somersaults, assails that stopwatch. Emits a last cry, a full cry, a head cold outside her larynx, a last breath, a full breath, a pale toad, a firm toad, a feather of grass to plead it softly then. To coax the juices relax their blossoms, to prod those pouches to recede from their blooming, Do in duress, redressing, refitting. Do has taken a toad, she eats it. This is not the beginning. When the window last chose a foreclosure of her, when her ins splat, metastasized, and caught her ankle split and toads came out, all of it broke, a cockle told Do down, retract, and wrought her, red in sums. We interrupted, told tamer directions, more banefully spelling, please, not now. This is not in order, Do, take letters. Pick a pinch from sea or air to chew or stir or genuflect a sauce made frog and circumspect. This is the small part. Whether she halted to see it go down, or spit the pith sideways, rhyme to pitch, plate to retch, stench to press against her flesh, full or empty, fleeing, she shook. Waving in the wind, whether she sent her garments waving, whether she fasted or relented, whether she was waiting, long when on cue the lions entered, whether she trained them 10 to test her, if by color she could suppress them. Whether she waited uninvited, whether she waited long enough to count on her fingers, or if she was eating fast enough to gorge, whether if by wanting she waited further and harder, all in spite of herself, to spill. When all at once, as if emerged and in a tizzy, her trunk was swollen and limbs released, Do was all swimming and sunken, awakened. Whereby she digs, she disturbs butte mass, leaving blossoms in the pox, spreading bursts. In that hand, Do delivered up her fill with broadcast blot to spill. Do wove her fingers over to make a clasp, her knuckles covered. In doing Do, her troubled gathered. Do invites the trouble in. In this chapter, and by our first, Do dressed, seems standing in her doorway, sends an emblem to her rivals, then turns and sends them to her inner coup. Do sets the table. Do undoes, and then, by end, she is conglomerated, and that is when her figures spurn, and that is when the rendering, those same hands, find morsels of bone dust on the wrist ledge, and hunger is relieved.